Okay, we're going to revisit today a couple of mental strategies for addition. Just remembering that, if possible, we want to be thinking about what strategy is the most appropriate for each calculation. Sometimes that might be a written method, but actually other times it might be more inefficient to do a written method than to do a mental method, or a mental method with some small jottings like number lines. So if we look at this, I'm trying to develop my number set so that I spot that, oh look, the ones, if I add the ones, I'm not going to need any regrouping. The tens also aren't going to need regrouping because those digits don't make 10 or above. The hundreds aren't going to need any regrouping, and the thousands won't either. I've only got 7,000. So actually, I could think about this as a process of partitioning. So I'm going to add 300s first. So I've now got 7,625. Then I'm going to add the 40. So now I've got 7,665. And finally, I'm going to finish off by adding this 3 at the end. So I get 7,668. Actually, nice and straightforward. This process I might be able to do in my head, but for the moment, I'm writing it as a number line because it just helps me to picture what's going on. Again, similar thing here. I've noticed when I look at my columns, there's no regrouping needed, so I might not need a formal written method. It might be more efficient just to think about, well, first I'll add 5,000. So that takes me up to 19,254. Now I can add the 400, which takes me to 19,654. Oops. And then I'm going to add 20, which takes me to 19,674. And finally, add the 5 ones, which takes me up to 19,679. And again, I could be doing that in my head, but the number line just supports me with making sure that I can sort of jot down my thoughts as I go, and I'm not having to remember everything as I go. So your turn now. I would like to see you using this method, even if you think I might use a different method. Try this method for now. We're working as mathematicians. We need to be able to use different methods at different occasions, on different occasions. So we just need to be comfortable with a range of different strategies, and to do that, we need to practice them. So use the method I've shown you. Pause the video, stop when you're ready. Okay, so we start with 2,475. I'm going to add the 400 first. Just my hundreds will change, so I get 2,875. Then add my 20, so I get 2,895. And finally add the 4, gives me 2,899. Again here, I'll try and do this a bit neater this time. So I'm going to start by adding that 6,000 because I've noticed there's no regrouping needed. So I get 59,234. Add the 500 now. So 59,734. Really good practice this for adding multiples of 10, 100,000 as well. Add my 60. Takes me to 59,794. And then finally add 4, takes me to 59,798. Now, the other strategy we spent quite a lot of time at the beginning of the year looking at is rounding and adjusting. So just noticing, as a mathematician, always we're trying to notice things, that 99 and 1 is 100. Now, it's very easy to add 100. So I just change the hundreds column. If I add 100, I get 13,356. But I don't want to add 100, I want to add 99. So at the end, I just need to remember to take that one I added on back off. So I get 13,355 is my answer. Again, only 3 steps maybe, 1, 2, 3. If I wrote this as a written calculation, I'd have to be doing a lot of steps. I'd have to line everything up, I'd have to do all the regrouping, and there's lots of potential for errors there. Now here, I'm noticing that this is just 2 away from 1,000. So instead of all that complicated written method stuff, I can add 1,000. Just change the thousands column, so I get 18,874. And remember at the end, not to take away 1 this time, I need to take away 2, because I added 2 on at the start. So I end up with 18,872. 2. Again, 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, as opposed to about 9 or so when we do all of the different steps we need for our written method. So your turn, again, what can you spot? Think really carefully. What am I adding to round up to a multiple of 10? And make sure you draw that number line. Off you go. Pause the video, unpause when you're ready. Okay, let's have a look then. So I've spotted 2 away from 100. So I can do 38,435, add 100, takes me to 38,535. And then at the end, I'm just going to take that 2 back off. So I get 38,533. And then the second one, I can see it's just 1 away from 1,000. So 43,538, add 1,000. But my thousands column takes me to 44,538. And I've added 1 here, so at the end I just need to take 1 off, and I get 44,537 is the sum of those 2 numbers. And again, in just 1, 2, 3 steps, I've solved something that could have taken me a lot of steps with a written method involving a lot of regrouping and potential for making silly errors. So it's really important that we keep practicing these strategies because they're going to make us better, stronger, more confident and flexible mathematicians. Let's have a go now at the independent task. Make sure you're using this strategy. I've given you some guides to help as well, but really try to apply these strategies rather than just going back all the time to column methods. Column methods are fine, but they have a time, they have a place, and sometimes we need to be able to use other methods as well.